today, what do we have here? Is it a NAS? Of course it is. This is the 2415. I took the top cover off because there was a dent on it. So they get kind of, sometimes in shipping, these really got to be packed good, or, you know, shipping destroys them. It's a little dusty. There's a little dust bunny that lives there. So anyways, when shipping, make sure these things are real tight. Here's why. I hope the camera can show this pretty well. I'm doing one right now. This is the video you're gonna see on the other one. So what happens is, I mentioned in the video, is that back plane is rock solid. This one, okay, these screws. And these locking tabs, that's what it was. This has the locking tabs and screws. This thing's rock solid. It's like, consider it a part of the metal. That's, you can't, this has no leeway, no budge. But the motherboard, which is behind here, and you can see it there, it's only, how do you say this? Held on with like a screw here, here. I think there's one here, 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 and here. And you can see there's that, when you only have like 5 or 6 screws holding one on, it has that distorted effect if this thing gets hit. So, and what happens is, like with the one we're doing the 2413 board right now, but this, where is it? This connector, that thing. So, man, when things get really distorted, you know, this board can shift. All it takes is a few millimeters and there goes the connector. And that's why when I tell people, when you box this thing to send it in, you know, make sure you box it tight, you know, and at least allow 2 to 3 inches around it of some good protection. Not hard protection, not really rigid protection, but something between, you know. You don't want to use sometimes that white styrofoam stuff. That stuff's like rock, you know. If this thing had styrofoam on it packed and something hit the foam, you might as well just be hitting the metal. You want something that's got some leeway, and in fact, I think I have. Do I? Oh, I don't even. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this stuff is good material. It's not like white stuff, you know, where it's rock hard, and it's not like black flexible foam that you can fold like a towel. This stuff's in between, so it actually, you know, it's got mush to it. You know, it can actually flex, and you want that. When you ship, you want that NAS to kind of float a little bit in there. You don't want it to be rock hard. You don't want it to be too loose. You know, it's the best thing. Actually, for any NAS, that's the best thing. So this one actually, when it's done, it'll look brand new. You won't even recognize it. So I don't know. I hope that's not metal filings. But anyways, it'll get all cleaned up. I might even rip the power supply out and vacuum the whole thing inside and take the cover off. So, and this is normal. It's dusty. Wait till I take this thing off. I wonder what that's gonna look like. So I'll be right back. Back on the 2415. By the way, when you take out these connectors, mark one of them. You know, I don't know, whatever you do, because a lot of people accidentally switch these, and how do you know when you switched it and did it wrong? They do the same thing. They perform the same function, but the LEDs here, that's what controls those. So when you put a drive in, you know, the LEDs light up. That's what controls those. So if you put the wrong one, every time you put a drive here, the LED over here lights up. So that's all that's for. So it's not hard to take out this board, but here's the screws. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a little one in the back. But yeah, this thing, it distorts very easily. It's not I mean, I can kind of distort it slightly just doing this. So imagine in shipping. And then this part is all rock solid. And this guy down here is moving a few millimeters and ripping that connector off. And that's what we're fixing on the 2413. That nasty looking connector went through the big bump. So this went through a big bump, but it didn't break it off because it had some bent metal on it. But yeah, you'll end up trying to do this, and this is no fun. Sometimes you can't even do them. It's that bad. So now, before I get started actually with this thing, get rid of that thing. I think there's another one in here. Let me see. Yeah. Didn't know to attack. I've actually seen a dead mouse in one. So anyways, it's not easy to do, getting this guy off. But the secret behind it is, you don't want to do this and crack something. So all you want to do is get a gap in here. So just put one hand. See how there's a gap in there, Then you just slip your screwdriver in. See how it lifts up? Turn. There, okay. So, and we already labeled one, so we don't have to worry about him. This never pull on, only push it out with the tabs, like so. It's out. There's one in the back. It's my... Where are you bastard? Oh, two. There's a bottom connector. He's off. And I think, yeah, there's the other one, but that's a 12-volt supply connector, CPU connector. And you just push the tab. And you could actually take this one off with the motherboard out. You don't have to take it out this way. So it's out too. So that's it. You don't have to take anything else out. And we're going to take the screws off of it. So this one happened in shipping. You can even see it sticks out. So to take this cover off, I have a video on how to disassemble this unit. And once you take those two screws off, you just slide it back. So this is all bent up to the front. In fact, you can see it doesn't go up all the way. So when I'm done, it'll look brand new. So either straighten this out, or I have sometimes a lot of extras of these, so I'll just put a new one on. But it's common. I've owned myself so many of these. You start collecting stuff out of the way along the time. Now I took the screws off. There's one here, here, and there's one here. There's also, and this is in my disassembly video, there's one here and here. So, in all the connectors, you saw me take them off earlier. So now you just want to, there's that edge connector there, you just want to slide it off of there, like that. Okay. So, let me grab another hand. But that's our board. So, it's got some work to be done on it. Now this thing, this is the 2415. All the videos online show it just takes one part to put in and stuff over here. No, this guy actually takes 3 to be permanent. So, and actually, let me see the serial number. It actually depends on the serial. Okay, so this is a 17. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So even better, because 17 was the last year this was made, so this is the newer one. They started making these in 2014, and that's a 17 serial, which means 2017. So this is the latest and greatest. So it actually takes 3 parts. One of them is the size of a acupuncture needle, so I'm going to have to lift a chip for that one. But other than the 100 ohm that goes here, and here's your serial cable. I have another video where I had that, and you can connect a serial here to your computer, and you're in the back door of the NAS. So yeah, here's that connector, and he's nice and tight. But I get so many with this ripped off, and like I said, that 2413 I'm doing, whoa, what a job. Anyways, I'll put the parts in here, and most of the people out there who do this, you just need the 100 ohm here. So let me see if I have it. What I do is I do it kind of professional. You won't even see it when I do it, but let me see. What you do is you locate the arrow pin, okay, and then you just go diagonal to, let me grab something that shows it better. So you just put a solder a 100 ohm here, and the other one goes here. So if you consider this pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pin 1, you put it on pin 1, and you put it here on pin 6. I'm actually touching the, I don't know why this stupid phone does that. Let me get closer. Oh, that's better. Yeah, here's pin 1, and back here is pin 6. Let me do it like this. That's pin 6. I'm actually going around it. So it's, so yeah, basically pin 1 and then count 3 over and go up 1. So you just put a 100 ohm there. So that's it. And then you got the other two, there's actually two 1K ohms that go in this one, similar to the 1815. But info, you know, on the board, here's the Altera. When he goes, forget the board. He's no good unless you have a donor. I have a bunch of these donors, so at least I can save a lot of these. And it sometimes depends on the revision of the board. So sometimes I can't use them because it's a different revision. So in this particular one, you can see version 1.4. There's 1.3s, 1.2s, and 1.1s of this board. And sometimes I'll still try it if it works. You know, if not, I'll take it off and save it for another board. But you know, there's, like my video has, there's a bunch of screws to take this board off. And when this baby's done, you won't even recognize it. It should look brand new again. Hey, we're back. So there's our 100 ohm. He's in there. You can see pin 1's always square, and then you just cross over. So the other two, this is the 100 ohm. The two 1Ks are also in here. So they're actually not. But anyways, it's you won't find them. It's not that easy. And those I can't show. There's certain agreements I have with Synology on servicing these. So everything you see online, even posted about fixing these, that's what we purposely have this stuff out there. You know, 10 years, how long has it been? 11 years when the atom bug started. We had started that 100 ohm fix for them, and that was it. After that, it evolved into, Synology didn't get involved with it anymore. After that, it switched to the transistor. That was okay. But then when it started coming into the other parts, that's when we had to have an agreement with Synology, because there's a lot of politics involved in this. So that's why no one's fixing these right still till today. Yeah, you might get a couple of years out of it if you do it, but if you want it permanent to get like 20 years, yeah, yours takes a little bit more. So now a lot of things people ask me about are these white shaded areas all over boards. You're going to see it on every board there is. So what happens is, in manufacturing, the through hole is done first. It takes a lot of heat to put through hole. Through hole are all these pins that poke through the board. Okay, here's some. So after through hole's done, then the SMD side is done, surface mount. So and what they end up doing is, so they mask all this off. So what you're seeing is leftover of the tape to mask them off, because you don't want to, reheat these and stuff starts falling off in the reflow oven. So, or if you're using a solder wave. But I actually worked in SMD. I started in SMD making stuff like this. I'll post a video of it. I was a Fuji tech, and after mastering that, after 2 years, became the lead tech. I ended up in management in the Gerber section. So the Gerber section is the file that actually builds these boards that gets programmed in the machine. If you see board view files, if you deal in schematics, like laptop schematics, and you see board view files that also go with schematics, you'll see what I mean. So, and Gerber is basically the placement location. So that's going to be your X, you know, your Y, and your Z. So the machine, when it goes to lay down a part, it needs to know X, Y, Z, and Z is important too, because you don't want it to go too far down or let go, you know, too far up. So, and how does the machine know where X, Y, Z is on this board? You know, because when they come sliding in, some are, you know, a little not perfectly centered. So, and that's what you always see these dots for on the board. These little dots. There's usually one in every corner. There's one here. You don't have to have them. Yeah, 3 is good enough. I don't even think there is one over here. So these dots, by the way, are called fiducials. So the fiducial is, there's a camera that comes out and looks at these dots. It's a target. So it will, you know, zzz, and then it'll come over, zzz, come over here, locate that. Now it has the X and Y coordinates. The Z, and there's nothing for that but what's ever in the Gerber file. So anyways, I want to let you know, this board's done a lot cleaner. We actually cleaned it up pretty good. And yeah, it's time for testing. See how well she does. Okay, time for testing. So I'm hooked it to my serial port. Remember that little cable that we saw on the board? It's actually still on the chassis part, and you plug it here when you plug in the motherboard. So, and it's a 9-pin. Okay, so I basically got an extra one, and I use it for all these boards. And I'm up on PC, so I'm gonna turn it on. There's already power in the power supply, so you can see it turn on. So I'm gonna hit pin 2, which is the power button. There we go. And you pray that you get this Syno boot, and there we go. So booting Syno 2, there's our serial, and she's rolling in. This is all, by the way, DS2415 Plus. Since the coin cell's in, so I have to use my math for the date sheet. So, and for the password, because the password, remember I said January 1st is, password is 1010101. So, you can see it. Look at that. What is it, May 8th? So, I don't know if I have it here. Okay, it just had the vacuuming done, and it's just a preliminary. As you can see, there's some areas that need touching up. It's a lot different than when it came in. The power supply actually looked pretty good, but you can see there's areas I gotta touch up. So actually fine vacuuming detailing comes up, so there's another vacuum for that. Now, a lot of guys, when the power supply goes bad, they change these, and guess what? This capacitor always gets busted off. And there's another one down inside here, because there's no clearance in here when you go to move it out. So if you ever have to change a power supply, please be careful of those, because they do rip off pretty easily. So I'm gonna finish vacuuming this with a more detail, so it looks clean and stuff. Now start putting some covers on, so you can see it looks a little cleaner than when it came in. You know, the inside's been done too. So yeah, it's now on the bench, and it's gonna get a lot of more detailed cleaning. So by the way, a lot of people end up cracking these apart, and don't worry about it. It happens. Even I do it sometimes. But to do it so it's the minimum amount, you can actually, here's what you do. So grab this and slide it along. You'll hear it click. There it goes. There goes one. There goes one. You just want to unclip these things. Plastic spade tool. There goes another one. Another one. You can see here's Jesus, and that one's out. Ugh, it's hard to do it with one hand. You got a camera, so you can see how these things just pop out. That's it. So this one's kind of dirty, so it's gonna show up a little. There you go. See how one is on the right, two on the left. And then these guys come out, and this thing's gonna need a little clean, huh? Woo! This must have been in a chop shop or something. Like it looks like almost a like maybe a garage or someone's auto shop. But yeah, they come out, and you'll know how to put them back in, because see how one of them's always short and folded up, the other one's kind of long, so you'll know one's left-sided and right-sided because of the connector that's here. So this is all gonna go for a cleaning, and I'll be right back. Okay, putting the fans in. Now the fans have been cleaned, so I just finished these. These were all that ugly brown. So what do you want to do? You want to make sure these are popped out. Okay. These up. Okay, all of them are up. And you'll see there's a connector. It goes down there. Now, you gotta be really careful here. I've seen people bend those pins down there. Not doing this right. Let me tell you, you short those pins out, and this thing's plugged in, even if it's off. Another Altera problem, that it just blows the Altera. And it's not because there's power there or anything, but the PWM is there. And PWM is tied to the Altera. So, and let me tell you, there's nobody in the country that can fix those, actually, but me, because I'm the only one who has all the Alteras for this thing. So, and that's why I say I'm the only service company for Synology United States, because what if it goes somewhere else and they don't know? They're just going to tell them, oh, you can't fix this, it's garbage. No, it's fixable. You just have to put an Altera. So anyways, when you put this in, slide it in slow. All right, feel so that thing feels like it's going in. Sometimes I even wiggle it a little bit. There, it went in. Good. Now it's in. We can push it in. Start locking our tabs down. All right. If you feel any friction of it not wanting to go in this area, don't force it. Back it out, and you'll be all set. Why can't you do Altera? Well, you can buy Altera chips. You can even buy the chip that's in there, but you're not going to find the program for it, and you're not going to be able to copy the program from the Altera, because Synology puts security bits on them. So if you ever worked with USB Blaster and Altera, in fact, one of these guys, when you buy USB Blaster, I actually test the Alteras with this. You can buy this tool actually online. It comes with another, where are you, baby? Here it is. It will come with an Altera that you can program. You can modify the IOs. All right. So the problem is there is a lockout option for Alteras on Synology, the security bit lockout. And Synology does this on all theirs. They lock out the Alteras, so we can't copy them. If you attempt to copy an Altera that has a security bit lock, like what Synology does, it's designed as a self-destruct mechanism. The chip will self-destroy, the program will wipe. You no longer can use that chip or that board. It's history. So there is a security safety protocol in those. Now, we have these chips, okay, very limited, not just from donors. We do get some from Synology, but let me tell you, they're really picky about this. There's a lot of security stuff involved with this one. There's even some BIOSes that have a lot of security stuff. So that's why I tell people, don't be buying BIOSes for NASs when you don't know who it's coming from. You know, people who pretend repairing these, because anyone can put code in a BIOS and hack your NAS. You have to be careful where you have things done. People say I fix NASs. Believe me, we are the only two people in the planet that fix NASs. We've been like that for the past 12 years. Anyone else they're trying to copy these processes, and there's hosing the whole system up. And yeah, they have NASs sent here and then from third parties, and then take it back and say, oh, what did he do? Let me do that. I'll try to resell it. There's a lot of things that are high security with these, since it's data, and you don't want to run into issues with that. And not only that, but when I do service, I'm very picky about my service. I want to make sure that NAS looks brand new when it leaves. I want to make sure the customer's happy about it. If he's not happy, he doesn't have to pay for it. That's how I feel, I didn't care about the money part. I like doing this, and I tell them, I'll do it for you, You have a hard time, pay me when you get a chance. Don't worry about it, I do that all the time. So I just like doing it. It's just, I still have to wipe this thing down a little bit. But, this is an older guy, and I know he is, and he told me I want the memory upgrade, because I do the memory upgrades too to 16 GB, and I use the ultra speed, not the 1600. And I'm going to actually give it to him as a gift, because I don't want him to know that I'm putting him in there. I'll wait till I tell him later. So, yeah, when this thing's done, and the cover that was bent up, this thing should look brand new. You'll love it. You get these dirty LAN cords, get a fine brush, like hair. It has to be fine. You can get a bag of these at Temu for a few bucks, and you grab some alcohol, just squirt a little on there, and you can make your ports look good as new. Yeah, I clean them top to bottom. This thing, I want it to look spotless. Hey, this NAS has passed testing. So what we do generally is, in the testing, drive goes in here. If it passes, sees it, we go to the next one. Passes, sees it. Next one down here. Pass, sees it here. Then we do the middle. If all 6 of those pass, then it gets filled. Make sure everything works right. So, and if you ever get these, and I wrote this in another one, you ever get where it doesn't close, all the customers here get a free set of latches they can replace, and the tool to take out the latch. So, and I have a video on it. You just take the tool, you clip it on here, squeeze, and then pop it out with a screwdriver. You put a new one in. So all customers get this as a little free gift, because it's a gift you need. Believe me.